Dan and Dago is back, and so are the Compas. And I must say, the Compas, even Gilberto, are the reigning, defending, undisputed heavyweight champions of the world when it comes to booking guests. So let's not bury the lead this week, and let's reveal this week's grand guest. Oh man, it's a good one. I'm pumped more than the 16-time world champion Ric Flair. Woo! The Compas have delivered in big fashion. Drum roll, please. Anthony Lynn, the former Chargers head coach and now offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, joined the Compas this week. And they got into many topics. Charger fans, Lion fans, fans of grilling and smoking meat need to listen to this Anthony Lynn interview. But let's not limit ourselves here. Everyone needs to give this episode of Compas on the Beat a listen and then give it a like and a comment on YouTube. You won't be disappointed. Come on, get in the comment section. Let Gilberto have it. Let him know that he's a bad compa, that he's scared of Dan and Dago. You know what else won't disappoint? Brewery X in Anaheim, and that's the place to be. I've been saying it for weeks. They have the best beer menu. So play Compas on the Beat in the car drive over to Brewery X in Anaheim. You won't regret it. And tell them the Compas sent you to Brewery X in Anaheim. Also, leave a review on Yelp and write the Compas sent you to Brewery X in Anaheim. And while you're at it, go subscribe to Compas on the Beat on YouTube and turn on the notifications. And feel free to comment under every video. Let me say it again. Let me say it one more time. Get in the comment section. Let Gilberto know he's worried of the cowboy on this show right here. Let him know how bad of a compa he is because he comes to Dan and Dago's neighborhood and doesn't even hit him up. He didn't even pay the toll. What's going on? Then go subscribe to the audio version of Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Don't forget to rate and review. And Gilberto, you stay around for una más. I got a surprise for you. Now let's get to the best damn podcast in the universe. Play the music, Nando! Welcome to Compas on the Beat. I'm Fernando Ramirez, Chargers beat reporter for Sports Illustrated. With me, as always, my co-host, my tag team partner, Gilbert Manzano, Chargers beat reporter for the OC Register and LA Daily News. What's up, bro?
What's up, Fernando? Yeah, I still can't get used to it. We've done this podcast for like 4 months, but that squeaky, what's up, bro? I still pause. I'll get used to it one day, Fernando. But you know what? I am very excited about this episode because we have a big time guest, and I know you heard it in the promo with Danny and Dago, and he was trying to make a big deal about it, but I just don't like that guy. Something about him when he reads promos, I ignore him, I tune him out. So I'm gonna do a better job of saying who is a grand guest, and I am very excited to reveal, my better reveal that our guest for this week is Anthony Lynn, former head coach of the Chargers. We got to know him the last 3 years covering the Chargers. And now he's moving on with the Detroit Lions, but man, he really got into it. So I can't wait to share this interview with the listeners.
Yeah, I know, bro. I'm hyped too. But let's hold on. We'll get there. It was an amazing interview with Anthony Lynn. It was good to catch up with him and everything. But I'm disappointed, Gilbert. You haven't asked me about Fast and Furious 9.
Dude, the show just started.
Bro, after the What's Up, bro, that should have been the first thing you asked me about.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about it last week because we're trying to play catch up with the vacation schedule over here. So That's my fault. So I guess I should have asked you off the bat, hey, bro, how was F9 for you?
Bro, I actually came away a little disappointed.
You?
Yeah.
My people are the biggest fan of Fast and the Furious franchise, that they should keep making these movies until the world ends.
Bro, this is my thing. What I came away with was I love John Cena's character. I thought with John Cena, I thought he did a great job. The only thing is that my sister was the one that brought this up. Melissa, she was like, I feel like Vin Diesel and the Fast and Furious franchise kind of bottled John Cena's character up a little bit and didn't let him go all the way out. Because I don't know if you remember this, but Fast Furious 5, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson came on, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson kind of outshined Vin Diesel's character.
That's true.
As Luke Hobbs. So they invited another wrestler on, and the way John Cena is, he's charismatic, he's really out there. I also agree with my sister that I feel like they kind of bottled John Cena's character up a little bit.
I feel like they could have given him a little bit more, but I like the flashbacks. I thought that was I thought that was great. I want to give credit. I don't know who the actor is, but the guy that played like 20-year-old Dom, man, he was doing all the facial character, everything that Dom does. He was doing everything. I was like, wow, okay. I came away kind of blown away by the way that guy acted.
I feel like before people keep listening, I don't want to do spoilers, but I know we haven't revealed too much.
No,
but
I have not.
Okay, but still, just be aware of spoiler. Let's put it in a little sticker there. I don't know if you could do it, like a little graphic. Just beware. But yes, there was kind of a flashback. I kind of feel like it's a spoiler, Fernando, but
No, it's not.
I agree that the little flashback, the mannerisms were kind of cool, and it's kind of pretty funny. I was a little sneaky with I watched it. I was a little sneaky with it because I was like, I saw it on the first day it came out. Usually, I wouldn't care. And I didn't want to tell you because then that would have been like, oh, I got Gilbert into it. I was like, you kept talking about Fast 9 so much that I'm like, damn it, I want to go watch it right now. And I watched it on the first day later. I think you watched it early and I watched it later at night. And then you were like sending me a message on Instagram saying John Cena was great. But then I was like, you know what? But the storyline was a little dumb. And like, yeah, we agreed. I was surprised that you agreed. It was one of those movies where like, after halfway through the movie, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what they're going after. I don't know what they need to stop. I don't know, because maybe you watch all of them. You could tell me that I needed to watch all of them, but I felt like I don't care. I love the action. I don't care. The storyline's going to be, sorry, I was going to say a bad word, crappy. And I was fine with it. It was weird. I was cool with it. I had no idea what's going on. I don't know who was coming back from the dead and stuff like that. I was like, I don't care. I just want to see more tanks exploding. I want to see, helicopters and saving people and the planes. I don't want to give spoilers too much, but the action, like you said, John Cena was great, but they kind of held him back a little bit, and you could tell what was going to happen. But what made me really laugh was the chain got a lot of play. So I know it's more spoilers, but okay, what's going on with me? I'm getting really into this movie. The dumb little chain got a lot of time.
It did. It really did. Yeah, no, he's talking about the cross that Dom. I mean, we've seen in the movie. Letty had it in Fast and the Furious when she got blown up when Phoenix blew her up, and then in the fifth movie, we've seen the chain from literally the fourth movie on, and it's played a pretty important role in some of these movies.
Okay.
In Fast 8, it really did play an important role in it.
That means I'm behind. So there's a whole sequence to it and patches. All right.
Exactly. Did you stay for the post-credit scene?
I did not, but I kind of wait. I saw people waiting. I'm like, I'm not gonna wait. What is it? Is it a Marvel movie? What's going on? I didn't wait.
Oh, you missed out.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, you need to YouTube it. You need to YouTube it. Okay. You can find it. But everybody, if you haven't seen Fast and Furious 9 and you're planning on it, wait until the post. It's not post credit. It's literally past when they pass the actors and stuff and who was who and everything. Then they go to the post credit scene, and then they go and give you where it was filmed, all that crap. So, but no, I mean, I hope the next one is going to be a lot better. I hope they really sit down and kind of, because the problem is, Gilbert, they had over a year to kind of analyze this movie, and I feel like they went and they made changes and they did all kinds of stuff. It was supposed to come out in 2020.
Yeah, so they tweak it.
So they supposedly they had to wait because of the pandemic. They didn't want to release it to your TV because they thought, no, we'd make more money if we release it in theaters. Which, I mean, I'm sure they did. I mean, it was a lot. My movie theater was packed. I know others were packed. But yeah, so I heard that they sat on it, then they kind of tweaked it a little bit. They made some edits, and then they released this version. I feel like that never is a good thing when you have to make. I mean, the Justice League, they had to do the exact same thing. Justice League was a terrible movie when they did all these edits and all this crap. So,
you don't think the second version of the Zack Snyder was better?
That 4-hour thing, I could not sit through that. I fell asleep. I remember it was after a family event or whatever, and my brother and my sister and everybody's watching it on the couch, and and then I had to go upstairs and I went to sleep. DC to me is way behind Marvel, so I've kind of been like about it, but honestly, like I said, I thought this movie was good.
Wait, hold on, let me pause you. We'll get to the Marvel stuff later on because we have a nice little game going on, but
heck yeah,
I kind of like the DC movie. I know people were bashing it, but I liked it better than the first one. Like it was much better.
And the version that when I was watching it, yeah, it wasn't bad, but I just feel like DC needs to do more. Like everybody, like some people think who don't watch Marvel and all this stuff, they think that those Batman movies with Christian Bale were made by DC, and it was not.
True. No, yeah.
So
Those are the best of the best.
And it's incredible that they haven't let. I mean, I know that's a Warner Brothers thing, and they should let Warner Brothers handle some of this stuff because Warner Brothers really does a good job. I know the originals. I mean, Michael Keaton was a good Batman. Then they had Val Kilmer, and then it was a mess. You know, it's funny, Gilbert. One day during the pandemic, I was bored in a sense. So I went down a rabbit hole. Of what happened with the original Batman. Why didn't Michael Keaton continue? Well, they had brought in Michael Keaton. Robin Williams was going to play the Riddler. They were going to do. Tommy Lee Jones was slated to play Two-Face. They did this whole thing, and then they ended up scrapping it all, and they ended up offering it to Val Kilmer. Then Val Kilmer takes over in Batman Forever. They were supposed to do this whole thing where Val Kilmer comes back for Batman and Robin. They offered him $50 million to do it, and he said, I don't want my whole acting career to be, hey, you played Batman. For $50 million, put on the damn cape and go out there and fight crime. He decided not to, so they gave it to George Clooney. God, that movie was terrible.
Yeah.
And obviously Arnold Schwarzenegger was Mr. Freeze. And Uma Thurman played Poison Ivy, which, I mean, that wasn't that bad, but definitely, I mean, my bad. I completely went down a rabbit hole.
But I'll agree with you with this, Fernando. I did like the new Zack Snyder cut movie. Not that much, but I thought it was decent. I watched it in 2 days. Okay, it wasn't maybe a full thing when you.
Oh, because it's 4 hours.
Yeah, 4 hours. But the worst thing about the movie was Batman. So then that part I agree.
I see out here on Twitter that people are begging for Ben Affleck to come back.
No.
For what?
He's terrible.
For what?
Hopefully he doesn't watch the show.
Let him stay out there with J-Lo. Let him go have fun with J-Lo. I don't need him as my... And don't even get me started on Robert Pattinson as Batman. God almighty.
Yeah, I know.
I am frustrated.
Yeah. We agree with that.
I am frustrated with everything that's going on with Batman. The one thing I am excited about, though, Gilbert, is Michael Keaton is going to be in the new Flash movie as Batman. So the Flashverse is this whole thing where it's kind of the butterfly effect. I don't know if you ever watched that movie with Ashton Kutcher, where if like you go back in time and like say that you don't that I tell you, I mean, I go back in time and I tell you shave that mustache. You shave your mustache and who knows, you maybe win the lottery in the future. Like it has an effect on it.
I'll do it.
So that was one of the things that happens in the Flash universe. So we get to see Michael Keaton as the older Batman version. So I'm excited to see, and he signed supposedly a 3-movie deal. So I'm excited to see Michael Keaton back in the fold. Huh. But going back to,
I was going to say, you know, take me back all the way to where Val Kilmer got offered $50 million. I'll jump in. I'll be the Mexican Batman. Give me half of that.
There you go. No, and it was funny because I saw the other day in San Diego, or here at the San Diego Zoo, they were like, oh, if you were exposed to a bat and had rabies, I think they said this on like NBC7, let us know so that we can help you out, all this stuff. I don't know what it was. And I'm like, I started thinking, and I texted, or I messaged my friend who posted it. I'm like, did he turn into Batman? And then like, obviously my next text was, my next text to her was, did he have to get a vaccine?
Nice. Now you sure write headlines, Fernando.
That's what I'm all about. But going back to Fast and Furious, I said, like I thought it was kind of, but like John Cena just rescued the movie for me, and I like John Cena. But yeah, I mean, I hope Fast and Furious 10 is better. I know they're gonna make the movie. I hope John Cena's in it because I get hyped when I see Cena. Again, we both agree his character was bottled a little bit. I thought he could have done a lot more, but I feel like they kind of had to weigh him down a little bit. But Gilbert, this weekend, I'm hyped for this. And you know, I like to get hyped. This weekend, my boy, Conor McGregor, he gets back in the UFC ring, back in Vegas, in front of a sold-out crowd against Dustin Poirier. This is the third fight. Gilbert, what do you think about this upcoming fight?
Yeah, no, they've been booking this fight, I think, ever since McGregor lost the rematch, I think in January. So I feel like this fight's been long overdue coming. It's crazy to say it's finally here. You know, like you mentioned, in Las Vegas, it's gonna be kind of like a big weekend for Las Vegas. You know, my second home. So good for them to have a big fight, UFC fight. It's been long overdue, everything because of COVID. But you know what? I don't know if I should say this, but McGregor keeps losing fights. He lost to Khabib, he lost to Poirier. He's lost to Diaz before. He lost to Mayweather. So since it really blew up, he's losing a lot of fights. Like he beat Cowboy Cerrone, and that's the only one I can really remember. But
he beat some guy in like 10 seconds or 50 or was that Cowboy?
The shoulder one. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm probably blanking. There's another win in there, but since I don't think since the Mayweather loss.
Yeah, no, it's only that one.
Cowboy, and then he hasn't fought that much, but that's the thing. Yeah. It's like I want to see the McGregor who was hungry, who wanted to fight Jose Aldo and be this breakthrough star, and he became the star. But then like I don't know, I think maybe because he made so much money with Mayweather, like we see now with Logan Paul after fighting Mayweather, you make bank and you don't have the same desire and hunger. And the thing about McGregor, he still has a lot of power in his punches. He southpaw, lefty punches. He was actually winning that fight against Poirier, but when he picks it up, his opponent does. Just to kind of do an example, he can't find that the extra gear, deep down, you're in deep waters, because he doesn't really have that drive anymore because he has so much money. He's done a lot in his career. So if he gets in deep waters again with Dustin, who's a very good fighter, I want to see does that old McGregor come out, because he looks tired, and after the second round, he doesn't have the same power punches. So that's what I want to see. If it goes 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds, like what's Conor going to do?
Yeah, no, and you know what I think it is, Gilbert. I mean, part of that. But he's not the same McGregor. He's not the guy that's talking crap. He's not the guy that I think that's kind of when you lose your persona a little bit. I feel like now he's kind of like, oh yeah, he kind of talks up the other guy, and I'm kind of like, what is this? And I'm like, I missed when he like got the 2 belts, and he's like, I just want to take this opportunity to apologize to absolutely nobody, because a 2-belt champ does whatever he wants. So I mean, I feel like that's kind of missing from him. And I feel like he did talk crap to Mayweather, but I feel like in Khabib, but ever since those two, he really hasn't said much. I mean, he says some stuff, but he's not the same Conor McGregor that we remember. So I feel like that's kind of, do you think that could be playing a part in that he doesn't have his usual stuff?
Maybe, but when you keep losing fights, how can you trash talk when you're losing? So
maybe that's why he stopped.
Yeah. So when you're on top of the game, then, you could talk. And so, he did win the first fight against Dustin, so maybe he has something to talk about. And I think I was watching some of the videos of the lead up of the first fight, which was kind of years ago. You forget about the first one. Conor was talking a lot. That's when he was coming on the rise, when he was trying to become Conor McGregor. It was before the Aldo fight. That's when he really went over the top. And to kind of share a story from my Las Vegas days.
I love these.
Yeah, the first event I covered in Las Vegas, I want to say was Aldo against McGregor. So I was kind of still a nobody reporter. So I didn't have a ringside seat. I was in cage side, I guess the proper term was. But the UFC gives out kind of these like little ticket stubs for extra media. And I took a ticket, and I got a seat all the way at the top of the MGM Grand. I just wanted to be in the building because at the time I was maybe 24, 25 years old. What's crazy? I didn't even know who McGregor was when I got to Las Vegas. Like, I was so kind of out of UFC. And then I went to cover this fight just to be in the nosebleeds and hear the atmosphere of McGregor knocking out Aldo at whatever, 10, 12 seconds, and the buzz and the energy. I'm like, man, this is like a boxing fight. Like, people are really into it. And from then on, just following McGregor's career, like I really got into it. And then I started, branching out to a division. I'm still not an expert. I know more boxing, but it was cool to be at that fight. It's kind of something to look back in history. One of the fastest knockout where McGregor was really born. So, I want to see that again, for McGregor to kind of come back, because, I know in the UFC, you could take some losses and you'll be fine. It's not a big deal. Like in boxing, you take a L, you got to recover big time. But in UFC, it's okay. But he keeps taking more of these. Like, is he still going to be a major draw?
I don't think he'll lose that. I just think that McGregor's really like, I think people really love him, and I feel like he could keep on taking L's and people still love him. They'll still watch his fights because they know they're going to get something out of it. I mean, I just remember, and folks, yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I can't remember what day, I went through Gilbert's Instagram. You guys need to go check this out at G Manzano NFL.
Yeah, you got it.
People need to check this out. He has some good stuff on there that only has a couple of likes or a couple of views, but it's great content. Like, you guys need to go check that out and see the old Gilbert. I mean, I saw some pictures that I like laughed at. I was like, this is funny. But like, he has like Conor McGregor versus Mayweather. Like, he has all these like videos from all this events, a sit down with Canelo. Like, it's a lot of good stuff. But I just think that Conor McGregor, yes, he's taken some losses, but people still love him. People love his story. People love that he came literally from nothing, and I think he was a janitor at a or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but now he's like the top draw of the UFC. I still feel like he's gonna make all that money. I bet you this weekend he's gonna break all kinds of pay-per-view numbers again just because he's Conor McGregor. So and it's incredible, Gilbert, because the last fight, it's funny because I think your eyes can sometimes fool you. I remember he was Poirier was kicking and little kicks to his shin. I'm like, what is he doing? Like, that's not gonna work against McGregor. And slowly but surely, he's chopping him down. And finally, at the end, Conor just couldn't keep on going, and it was because he had done so much damage to that shin. Now, my question is, Gilbert, after all these, I mean, I was there with you when we saw, what was it, 2 or 3 people snap their legs doing that kind of stuff. Like, will Poirier will he do that kind of stuff? Like, will he try and continue that stuff? Because that stuff is gnarly. But I really do think that McGregor is still the biggest draw in UFC. I feel like no matter what, people will buy the pay-per-view to watch Conor McGregor fight.
Yeah, no, I think you should expect many kicks because, the kicks are kind of like a jab in boxing. Like you kind of keep them at bay. And the thing with McGregor, his left hand is still so dangerous that you don't want to get caught, especially in the first rounds. Like, you could go back to the classic Nate Diaz fight, the 2 fights. Like, he kept getting dropped in the first couple of rounds because those punches are powerful. But when you get to the 3rd, 4th round, that's where the cardio affects McGregor and the power is not there. So if Dustin could kind of keep him from at a distance with some kicks, maybe some real jabs like in boxing, and maybe even take him down a couple of times with some wrestling because he's not good on the ground. And then when the 2nd and 3rd round come around, you pick it up when McGregor's coming down. But that's why we really want to see the cardio and see what he does. But yeah, you're probably right. Fernando is still going to be a major draw because even if he loses, I still want to see Nate Diaz, McGregor, the trilogy. I want to see the 3rd part. So you're probably right now to think about it. But after that, I can't really take him seriously. He keeps losing these fights. He's not a champion. He's not the best of the best. Yeah. I think he's fighting the lightweight division right now. So I don't know if he has a big victory. I want to see him, fight the champion in the division and see if he's still at the top of the game.
Gilbert, why do you think his cardio has always kind of done him wrong? I mean, I remember in the Mayweather fight, and maybe Mayweather was carrying him. I guess we'll never know. I don't know. But I remember in the first few rounds, he kind of was taking it to Mayweather a little bit. And then at the end, he kind of gets gassed. Against Khabib, first 2 rounds, it was whatever. I think in the 3rd round, he got really gassed. What do you think it is? Like, what do you think he's doing wrong?
When you're such a powerful fighter and opponents go down quickly, maybe you're so used to that. And sometimes you see it in boxing too. Like, these guys are coming up through the ranks and then they have power punches, but they've never gone like 8, 9 rounds. And you're like, okay, here's a championship round because they really matter. But we've seen McGregor kind of do it. That 5-rounder which I was there again at the T-Mobile Arena against Nate Diaz. He had a good first 2 rounds, but the 3rd and the 4th, he was kind of gassing. But then he found that extra gear in the later rounds, the championship rounds, and he won the fight because of that. And I think because he was coming off a loss, he didn't want to lose again. So he found that extra kind of motivation. So he needs that. Maybe coming off a loss, we could probably look back to that trilogy. The rematch against Diaz because he came off a loss. Now with Dustin losing, he's really hungry to kind of get that win because I know he hasn't fought Khabib again, he hasn't fought Mayweather, but when you lose, we saw what he did with Nate Diaz. He came back much hungry, so maybe that's what we see for the trilogy for Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, no, hopefully. I mean, it's always great when McGregor's on top and he's talking his talk and everything, so that'll be exciting. But Gilbert, you said you're more of a boxing guy. And we've seen that the LA Galaxy Stadium, Dignitive, whatever, sports complex crap, they've hosted boxing before. We know Staples Center has hosted boxing. Now a new stadium in LA is going to be hosting a boxing fight, and it's not SoFi. So don't. I think the only person that could sell that out is Canelo Alvarez, but that's another story for another day. There's going to be boxing at LAFC Banc Stadium. Gilbert, can you give us a little breakdown of what to expect?
Yeah, it should be a good fight weekend. I know it's not the biggest boxing card, but I'm just intrigued about the stadium part. You're a big soccer fan. You know about the environment that LAFC brings in Los Angeles. So I know it probably won't be, I don't know what that is, but I know that it will probably be maybe they'll probably limit the capacity, but to be outdoors and in a cool venue, like I love the venue in Carson. You mentioned Dignity Health Sports, whatever they call it, the War Ground in Carson. I love being outside. You know, if it rains, it sucks for my laptop, but hopefully it's good weather in July. The fight's July 9th on a Friday. But the main event is I like the name of the guy in the main event. His name is Gilberto. He goes by Zurdo. I'm left-handed too. Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez, fighting against Sullivan Barrera. I think it's a light heavyweight division main event. You know, but I love the name Gilberto, but I'm more intrigued for the co-main event. It's Jojo Diaz from El Monte, and I think he is fighting Javier Fortuna, who has power. So the co-main is pretty good, and there's a you know a woman boxer, Seneisa. Hopefully I'm not butchering her name, Seneisa Estrada from LA, who's coming up through the ranks as well. So if you're a hardcore boxing fan and you love fights and you love fights in Los Angeles, that's the key thing, the atmosphere, and you're outdoors and you're local here in Los Angeles, I say go watch this card. It shouldn't cost you too much because it's not you know big names, but also if you are interested in more, I should plug my stories. And I think about it, Fernando.
I was going to ask you about that.
I'm writing a bunch of stories because it is I think it's a decent card in LAFC's home stadium. I want to say it might be the first one there. I can't really remember. I think they tried doing it last year, but the COVID kind of ruined everything.
Yeah.
But I will be writing stories about this card, so check it out. The Orange County Register, I think /boxing.
Does Gilberto have a mustache also?
You know what? He used to be kind of like the pretty guy, the pretty boy face, where he didn't have any facial hair. Yeah, there you go, the pretty boy. But when he's coming back with a rugged look. He actually has a beard. I think it's like a fresh start because he went from Top Rank with Bob Arum. He's now with Golden Boy and Oscar De La Hoya. So maybe he's like, you know what? I got a new promoter because this guy Gilberto, he was at one point he was kind of viewed as a really top prospect. He was champion pretty early in his career. I actually got to cover him in Las Vegas when he was coming up and when he was like 22, 23. And Top Rank had big plans for him, but it just didn't work out, man. He's a Mexican fighter too, which is kind of strange, but he wasn't selling. He wasn't doing too well. I'm kind of disappointed because Gilberto, we should step it up. We should be a big draw. But I think now with Golden Boy, he feels like he has an opportunity, and that's why he came back with the beard. So
it's hard to be like Fernando's and Fernando Tatis Jr. So I mean, it's hard to match up to that. But before we move on, Gilbert, I have one question for you. There was news about you mentioned him, Oscar De La Hoya, coming out of retirement. What do you make of this? And do you feel like kind of what happened last year with Mike Tyson and all this stuff? Do you feel like some of these guys are like thinking, oh, hey, maybe, because I don't think Oscar needs the money. I think Golden Boy is doing a pretty good job. But what do you make of him coming back? And then obviously he's called out Floyd Mayweather. He's called out Canelo. I don't think he should take that Canelo fight unless he wants to end up in the ER. But what do you make of Oscar De La Hoya's news?
Yeah, I think he's fighting Victor Belfort. Yeah. I'm not butchering his name, but former MMA fighter.
Where's he fighting him at?
I think Las Vegas.
Okay.
I think I saw September 12th.
12th.
And it's a week before Canelo's Day, Mexican Independence Weekend. Canelo doesn't have a fight officially, but I think he's going to fight Caleb Plant, I think also in Las Vegas. So it's kind of some pay-per-view. Like if you're trying to save your money, are you picking De La Hoya's comeback or you're saving for Canelo? Well, Canelo is going to fight on the zone, so maybe it's not too expensive. It's doable. Actually, but they're still kind of competing. Like it's like kind of weird. Like your old promoter trying to take an audience from you. But it's funny. I wrote a couple of weeks ago that these kind of like weird crossover fights with YouTubers are kind of good for the sport because there's eyeballs. Now it feels like it's getting watered down. Like everybody wants to come back fight. Everybody wants like a fight an MMA fighter. Everybody's a YouTuber trying to fight. Like there's so many I can't even keep up. I said like these two TikTokers, fought and it went pay-per-view. I'm like, I didn't even know about this. So
no, I think it was a YouTuber versus a TikToker. That's how they did it.
And I'm like, really? Okay, so that's not real boxing.
Do we count as YouTubers? Can we have fought TikTokers?
Yeah, I mean, we could find another podcast.
But you're a TikToker too, so how would that have worked?
I don't know. I'm just so versatile, I do it all. But everybody wants to fight each other, and I'm like,
I actually put out my first TikTok over the weekend, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I did. I saw it finally.
I mean, it was just whatever's, but I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, no, I gave you a like,
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, bro.
I've been kind of slacking, so you've done more TikToks than I have in the last 2 weeks. So
yeah, but you were on vacation, so I mean, you deserved to max and relax.
But
I'm definitely gonna try and do more of it. My teacher truly sucks, so I'm just gonna do it on my own now. I'm gonna try and figure out to work it. I think it is. I didn't think it was that complicated, but at the same time, I was kind of like, oh crap, like it does take a lot of work. But yeah, no, hopefully it's going to be a good fight at LAFC Banc Stadium. I hope the De La Hoya thing is just a one-off and he doesn't really try and fight Floyd, because nobody wants to see that again. I mean, I'm sure people would pay to watch it again, but I mean, but don't call out Canelo, dude. Canelo's in his prime. Like, I don't even think he'd make it around.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but he's a promoter. He knows how to sell, and he knows.
But I mean, and there is legit beef there between both of them.
It sounds like it now. That's kind of crazy to me. Yeah,
but I mean, hey, Gilbert, good fight week. I can't wait to read some of your stuff that you put out there. It's good stuff. But now let's get to the highly anticipated interview with Anthony Lynn, the former Chargers head coach. You don't want to miss this. We've been excited for weeks about this next guest because it's a reunion. Gilbert and I have missed bugging him about injury reports, asking him about the starting depth chart. He's the former Chargers head coach. Now he's moved on to offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. He's also a master on the grill, because I hear that his best barbecue chicken wings are incredible. He's also an expert with the smoker. We're, of course, talking about the great Anthony Lynn from McKinney, Texas. Anthony, first of all, how are you doing? And are the rumors true? Do you feel like you're the best barbecue chicken wings cooker in the NFL?
I don't like to brag on myself, but I'm pretty good at it. So I just leave it at that.
Oh, come on, Anthony. I saw the Hard Knocks. You were all over those the chicken wings with the little brush. I think it was actually your wife Stacy's like a China fork, like a fancy fork. Did you ever get a brush? What was the deal with that?
All you need is a nice fork and just wrap a paper towel around it with a Band-Aid and you're good. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the way my grandfather did it. That's the way I do it. But when it comes to cooking barbecue, I'm kind of old school, you know. I do things. I like the smokers, because you got to sit out there all day and cook it, you know, indirectly, and that's just how you do it, man. If you do it right.
Anthony, Gilbert was telling me you're in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. I'm surprised you're not zooming from the beach. How's that vacation going?
Vacation's awesome, man. This is my second home. I don't even really call it a vacation. When I come here, everybody says welcome home, you know. So I've been over here for the last decade, bought a place, and we love it. We love it. So every chance I get, I come over. Hell, I've done some of my meetings over here on Zoom, some of my work meetings. So it's been awesome.
Anthony, it's been a while since we last spoke. It's good to see you again and catch up. I think it's been since January. But Anthony, how's kind of life been for you? I know they didn't work out with the Chargers, but you're now with the Detroit Lions, being the OC there, you know, with Dan Campbell and all the talented players in Detroit. But was that pretty tough for you to kind of, you know, hear the Chargers say they want to part ways? But was it also kind of, you know, a good thing to have a fresh start in Detroit?
You know, I think the last time I saw you, Gilbert, I was really telling all of you guys underneath my breath to go to hell. But it's all good now. It's all good. It's I've had time to reflect on my 4 years in LA and things that I would do differently if I had to do it all over again, and things that we did well. You know, we did some things well. You know, we come out of there. I feel like the organization was in better shape when we left than when we got it. And so, and got a young stallion at quarterback that I absolutely love to death. Great young man. I think his intangibles are even better than his talent. But I have no regrets. You know, there's some things I would do differently if I had a chance to do it all over again. But I learned from that. I think we learn from our failures and we move on. And hopefully we get another opportunity to show that we've learned from it.
Anthony, it was your first time as a head coach when you became the head coach of the Chargers. What was your biggest takeaway from your 4 years?
There's a lot. You know, yeah, that's a good question, but you can take away a lot. You know, from how you build your staff to how you utilize your personnel to how you practice. Just even in the business side of things, just how we did things on the business side. There's a lot I would take away from that I think all tie into winning championships. You know, I tell people all the time, locker rooms don't win championships, organizations do. So I think I learned a lot on both sides.
When people on this show know that I'm the energy guy, so when I heard Dan Campbell's introductory press conference, I got so fired up. He said you guys are gonna be biting off kneecaps. I got excited. I know it got a little wild and it fired me up. Like I said, does he always bring that energy?
Always, man. That's Dan. Dan was tight end. Dan and Jason Witten when I coached in Dallas. Aaron Glenn was DB when I coached in Dallas. I got to know those two very well. They handled themselves like coaches as players. And so, because Coach Walsh kind of picked me out and set me aside and talked to me about coaching, and it worked. I try to do the same thing with current players. I just try to plant that seed. When you're done playing, this is something I think you should do. And I did that with Dan and Aaron Glenn. And to see those two come into business and just grow, I had an opportunity to actually work with Aaron Glenn some in New York. I watched the young man make coffee and just continue to work his way up the list. And now he's our defensive coordinator. Dan Campbell's our head coach, two great guys. And, I was actually going to set this year out. But when they called, I had to go because I wanted to be a part of that. I knew it was going to be something special. And the ownership is giving Dan all the support in the world. I can't say enough about Sheila and how she's handling this situation, and Brad. But it's been smooth so far, and I see it being that way throughout Dan's coaching career there.
Anthony, I think you had a couple other interviews. Is it just something where, like, you tried it didn't feel right, but when you saw Dan Campbell and the Detroit side, like, you had to go?
I just think, given I've been on the sideline since I was 6 years old. I have not had a break since 6 years old, literally every single fall. And I really had in my mind that I was going to take a gap year, man. Travel a little bit, go see some other teams and visit some of the coaches that I know and see how they're doing things. And I had made my mind to sit out this year, but then when Dan called, that changed everything. But I did go out of respect. I did go talk with a couple other coaches, and those are guys that helped me in my career on the way up. So I owe them that. But it just felt right in Detroit.
Anthony, you got a close look at Jared Goff. I know you were doing your thing with the Chargers, and it's still kind of far away, close to Mason, Thousand Oaks. But I know you're very, very well aware of Jared Goff. But it's kind of like similar path to you guys. Leaving LA, fresh start in Detroit. I know Jared Goff has some ups and downs the last couple of years, but so far, how's it been working with Jared Goff? And does he look like that Super Bowl quarterback, from a couple of years ago?
It's been an absolute pleasure to work with Jared. Just giving him some input and just watching him grow as a leader on our football team. That's been really cool to see. But he's had some really good practices, and now hopefully that carries over into training camp and the regular season. But I'm very pleased with what I've seen so far. And like you said, Gabriel, I watched the guy for 2 years, up close in person in practice, and I was always impressed with his own talent. So.
Yeah, people kind of forget that he's still a very young quarterback. He was number one pick not too long ago.
Right.
So plenty of time for Jared Goff. But sticking to the theme of young quarterbacks, you mentioned the Stallion, Justin Herbert. Just kind of take us back to that year, because there was a lot unknown about Justin Herbert. You heard all the the draft pundits say that maybe Herbert's not the guy, but I think you knew right away this guy had all the physical tools. But how was it watching him develop on a weekly basis? And was there kind of a story, a point in time your thoughts and theories about Herbert were confirmed that this guy's a real deal?
I love Justin coming out. He was that guy, and Tom Telesco loved him. But we did a lot of work on Justin. And just I did not want to expose him too soon. I've seen what that has done to some top picks especially at the quarterback position, and how sometimes those young men never recover because they're living in a day and age where media is just right there. I mean, social media and things spread, and some of these kids are just not mentally strong enough to overcome a lot of the negative vibes that they get early in their careers. I think that's pretty obvious when you look at the quarterback position. But Justin had to go in and play. We didn't have any choice. Tyrod got his lungs punctured. Justin found out as the ball is literally in the air, I'm grabbing Justin, saying, "You're the starter." And the way he handled that situation, I tell you what, he couldn't have handled it any better. And there's a lot of things that went on that you guys never know about behind the scenes, but that's part of him being a young rookie quarterback. But overall, the way he handled that situation, I could not have asked for him to do it any better. And I just think that's going to be a great foundation for him moving forward.
All right, Gilbert, let's take a break from football questions. I want to get back to food questions with Anthony. I recently got a smoker myself. I saw what Justin was doing with that victory brisket and everything. So I've done a couple of briskets, but I still have a lot to learn. Can you share any tips? I know you smoke sometimes for 14 hours, play dominoes, have a couple of pops. That's how you do it back in Dallas. I know that because you said that on Hard Knocks, but you got any tips for me, Anthony?
Well, if you flavor, I think sometimes some beef all taste the same, but if you want your beef to have a certain flavor, then I think you need to think about what type of wood chips you're going to use. You're going to use hickory, mesquite, or whatnot, and then what are you going to soak that wood in? I would recommend soaking that wood in something. If I want my barbecue to taste a little sweeter, because I do have a little bit of a sweet tooth.
Yeah.
So I might soak my wood chips in grape soda for 24 hours. And then I put them on the burner. You know what I'm saying? Or I might soak them in strawberry. Depends on what type of vibe I'm feeling, what type of flavor I want, So you can change, the taste of your meat just a little bit. It'd be different from someone else's just by how you soak the wood chip,
Oh, I'm gonna check that out. That sounds very interesting. I see, Gilbert. I'm learning on here. That's a great part about this. Anthony, you as an assistant coach for the Cowboys, you sustained a life-changing car accident, and during the Super Bowl in 2020, you met the first responders that had saved your life. What was that moment like for you after so many years getting to meet them? It was about 16 years later. What was that moment like for you?
Well, I got hijacked. I didn't meet them. I got hijacked. Okay, I was doing a commercial for first responders, and I had no idea these people that saved my life years ago that I've never met were there. And at the end of my speech, they kind of stepped out one by one and explained to me all the details of that evening and what happened and what they did to save my life. And it was just overwhelming for me. After a while, I kind of cracked, but I tell you, we have a great relationship. I talk to those guys now to this day, and young lady, and I can't thank them enough. I've always been a big fan of first responders, even before they saved my life. But after they saved my life, I've always been involved, and even now, I just think they're the real heroes. I look at us sometimes as coaches and athletes. So many times people look up to us for what we do, but they save lives every single day, and they lose lives every single day. It's just to me that those are the heroes.
Anthony, they really remember all the details after so many years. Was that must have been kind of a crazy feeling?
You know what? They were so specific in the details that it was weird. It was like they all said they would never forget that night. I don't know why that night they would never forget, because they do this all the time. But they just said they never forget that night. And one of the officers went into the breathing patterns that I had and how I was hurting to breathe and how he tilted my head to help and how I was choking on my blood. It was just on and on. And I just like, wow. I even met them back at the site. I had never been back to the site, after that accident. And so I met them at the site, and we actually ate at a restaurant close by. But it was crazy to see where I got hit and where I landed. When they showed me that was crazy, man.
Wow. Yeah, I think it's about to be 16 years. I read up on your story. It's crazy, and I think was it Todd Haley that helped you out?
Todd Haley was there with me that night. Absolutely.
Yeah. You guys have a close friendship. I was reading, but Anthony, it's kind of cool to see what you've done the last 16 years, especially on and off the field. We saw what you did with the players when it came to the protests in LA. I really kind of read up on the Lynn Family Foundation, the school in Tanzania. I guess kind of a two-part question, because I wrote a story about you last year about the foundation, and I got to know about Hugs Cafe in your hometown, McKinney, Texas, and how I think your niece Marty is a part of it. So she sounds like a great person. First of all, how's Marty doing? How's Hugs Cafe? And give us an update on Tanzania.
Marty's doing great. Marty's actually on vacation with me. So
really,
yeah, she's doing great. But Hugs Cafe is growing. It started out, you say my hometown, McKinney. I was actually born in McKinney. My hometown is Salina. So if anyone from Salina hear you say that, they're going to
Sorry about that.
You've already made enemies, Gilbert.
So, but anyway, Hugs Cafe, man. It's I remember this lady. She had this idea, and she wanted me to bring Marty to her kitchen, and she wanted to train Marty to be a part of Marty's life. And I talked to her about her plan and what she wanted to do, and I just didn't see it working, man. I just say, you got these kids with mentally health issues, serving food and cooking food and things like that, and I don't know. I was really shallow-minded about this, but I'm glad she continued and she listened to herself, believed in herself, and did what she had to do. Because now they're about to open like 6 of these right now, and they're some of the most popular restaurants in Texas, in North Texas. So she had a vision, she had a plan, she saw it through. People doubted her, and she did what she had to do. And I'm so happy to be a part of her organization. I'm going to support her 100% as long as I can. But what they do is they take young people, young adults with mental health issues, they train them to live in this world and to work, and they get a check. They're not getting something free. They're working for it. And so it's been obvious. It's been really good for Marty.
Anthony, when most people hear something about doing a good thing with people with special needs, they kind of just say, yeah, do your thing, and don't really doubt it. Did you kind of feel awkward saying like, hey, this might not work?
I was just being honest. We're talking about someone with special needs serving me food, and sometimes they can't control this and that, and I'm watching these kids, I'm looking at these kids, I'm walking in a parade with these kids, helping them raise money as I'm telling her this, so I was always on board, but I was skeptical, and she proved me wrong, and I'm glad she did, because it is one of the best organizations I've ever been a part of.
And have you gone back to the school in Tanzania?
You know what? Because of the pandemic, last couple of years, I haven't been able to go, and it's been eating me up because it took so much time and effort to get that school off the ground up and running, because getting those kids out of the workforce and getting them in school was hard, because a lot of the parents over there felt like, well, who's going to do the work if the kids are all in school? And so I didn't want them to revert back, but I get videos constantly, and the school has actually grown. So I think the playground helped. I had to get real strategic here. At a security fence, a playground. I put the playground in, and the kids go to school now. They're having fun. They're glad to be at school. They can't wait to get to school. And it was cool to see them on the swings and merry-go-rounds and slides. They'd never seen that stuff before, man. And we spent 2 days just in training, teaching them how to use the equipment, and of course, first aid in case someone got hurt or whatnot. And they jumped on those machines, and it's like they've been on them all their lives. I mean, they were rolling. So it's going good. I can't wait to get back over. I'm definitely going back over next offseason.
Wow, we kind of take that stuff for granted. You don't realize that a playground is something that not everybody has. So that's pretty cool to hear, Anthony. But I feel like I'm hogging all the questions. I know Fernand has a few more, but let me get to my biggest important question, because you're in my area, you're in my hood. I'm Puerto Vallarta. I'm technically from Nayarit, but it's nearby. My dad's from the capital, Nayarit, the Peak, and my mom's from they call it a little rancho, a little town, El Venado, Nayarit. So I know all about the beaches, and you told me that you have a favorite restaurant in Nayarit. So I'm very curious, what is that favorite restaurant?
It'd be Karen's.
Karen's?
Karen's is my favorite restaurant in Nayarit. Yep.
Is that by the beach, San Blas? I'm gonna take a guess.
It's right on the beach, brother. And this
wow.
Yeah.
Is it seafood, mariscos?
It's great seafood. Great seafood,
okay.
and Mexican food.
Okay.
Anthony, what attracted you the most about Mexico? Like what made you just want to head down there? And I mean, because I feel like a lot of people don't know about Mexico, about deep down there, Puerto Vallarta, some other places like that, Mazatlan, some of those places. What attracted you to go to Puerto Vallarta?
Well, like I said, Mike Shanahan kind of turned me on. I've never been to Mexico. Mike Shanahan comes every year, and he kind of turned me on to it. And then once I got over here, man, it's just the culture. I love the people. I love people, period. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I can interact with anybody, but just here on the water, the beach, and the prices are pretty cool too. It's not the most expensive place in the world, but it can be. But I just like the culture, to be honest with you. It's the culture and the people.
Anthony, our podcast is called Compas on the Beat. Do you know what compas? You know what compas means, right?
Not really.
Oh, compas means buddy, friend, like bro. Like that's what compas in Spanish. That's what it means.
Well, that's slang for amigo, huh?
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah, it's slang for amigo. So next year, and I mean, if you ever want to throw that out there, people will love it. You say compa, and everybody's like, "Oh, wow, okay, let's do it."
Say it slowly. Compa.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
I'm gonna use it today. I'll be
There you
using that today.
There you go. And obviously, Anthony, we want to let you know you're a compa to us. We loved having you on the show. Thank you so much for jumping on Compas on the Beat. Anything you want to say before you head back to the beach? I know you have a busy schedule today on the beach.
Now, when I'm talking to this has been fun. This has been a great podcast. Great seeing you guys again. But you're still the damn media, so I'm done.
All right.
Oh, Gilberto, you just had to open those floodgates, didn't you? I heard you saying those naughty things last week. You don't think I listen? I got ears. I hear everything on this show. I heard you saying he supposedly plays sports. He supposedly plays sports. I won championships playing sports there, boy. How do you like them apples? Look at this. I know you don't know what this is, Gilberto, but this is a Letterman's jacket right here. Captain, football, started 2-year starter in high school. It says right there, champion, champion, champion. I'm sorry, knitting, underwater basket weaving, and writing poetry aren't varsity sports, Gilberto. That's why you don't know what this is right here. And you definitely don't know what this is. And my takes are outlandish? Really? Dan and Dago is no persona, boy. It's who I am. I'm sorry, I'm not over here just, let me tell the company, like, okay. Oh, yeah, the Chiefs? Oh, yeah, no one's beating the Chiefs. Oh, no. Oh, Tim Tebow? Oh, yeah, let's cut him. Everyone's saying it. Let's cut him. Oh, yeah, he shouldn't be on there. My takes are my original thought. What are you talking about here? A persona, outlandish. I got brains. It's in there. I told Frown the Chiefs were going to get manhandled by the Tampa Bay Bucks, and look what happened. They got manhandled. Their favorite superstar Mahomes got taken out. But anyway, woo! What an interview with Anthony Lynn. Oh, I'm just fired up. This boy gets me fired up. Like I said, the Compas delivered big, and that's why they're the reigning, defending, undisputed heavyweight champions of the world of booking guests. Everyone wants to talk to the Compas just like everyone wants to drink Garrison Brothers bourbon. One sip of that Texas bourbon, and you won't look elsewhere for your whiskey needs. So do yourself a favor and visit Garrison Brothers Bourbon and order the best damn bourbon. Now let's get to Una Mas, presented by Garrison Brothers Bourbon.
Dan and Dago's right, Gilbert. That was a good interview with Anthony Lynn. It was good to see him again.
Yeah, it was nice to have a I guess an outgoing setting. We were catching up. It was like we were talking about. We found the word compas, so I feel like compas talking. Sometimes they get a little intense after like a loss or something, or somebody's hurt, and we're asking about injuries and who's gonna play this week and all that. And he's like, I don't want to talk to you guys, but today he wanted to talk to us.
No, it was a lot of fun, and I was gonna ask him if there's any way we can get invited, but then I was like, no, that's pushing it a little bit. I don't know if he'd want to invite us down there, but before we go, Gilbert, let's do something fun for our Chargers listeners. You know me. I know I talked about it at the beginning of the show and all that. I love Marvel movies. I love everything. Anything superhero or nerdy, I love that stuff. So Black Widow comes out this week, Gilbert, on Friday specifically. And I'm excited for the movie. I mean, if you haven't seen Endgame, I mean, that's on you by now. We know what happens to Black Widow and everything, so it's kind of sad, and I'm kind of like, oh, we're never gonna see Scarlett Johansson, and boom, here comes a solo movie. So I think it's well deserved. I think she deserved a solo movie. She's been a big part of the Marvel universe since, since she came in. I'm getting all worked up and excited. She's been a big part of it since she came in Iron Man 2. So I thought she's been awesome. She's a cool character. So let's have some fun, Gilbert. Let's compare Charger players to Avengers.
First off, Fernando, before we go through this game, I'm going to say I didn't prepare at all. So you're going to have me thinking about who to compare who to who, who's going to be Thor on the Chargers. But I got to say, just to kind of, pump your brakes a bit, Fernando, I'm not a big fan of the Marvel movies. I have not seen nowhere near. Just a bunch of them. I have not seen nowhere near all of them. Maybe what I really like are the X-Men movies and Deadpool. That's about it. Everything else is not that good to me. I know Danny and Dago's gonna watch this and call me out, but partner, I am sorry that I don't like all your terrible movies. Okay, leave me alone.
Terrible, bro. What are you talking about? They're not terrible. They're good, solid movies. Marvel's done it right. They've done their movies right. You need to catch up. What Harry Potter are you on by now?
Oh, I'm still.
Oh my!
I still haven't started the fourth one, man. Sorry.
Everybody asked me, and it's funny. I jump on other shows and stuff because people want to talk Chargers, I guess. And they asked me about. It's funny. Everybody's asking me Compas, and they're all excited about it. And they asked me, "What's up with your co-host?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? Why doesn't he watch any superhero movies or anything like that?" And I'm like, I forgive him. I'm like, he doesn't know anything. And people literally ask me why you don't like any of these movies, and I start laughing. But it's hilarious.
You need to start asking about TV shows because I like TV shows. You like franchise. I've noticed you like really franchise. Big hype Harry Potter, 8 movies. Like
Jurassic
I like
Park.
I like low key kind of TV shows, and you got to ask me about that. Like I started watching Black Summer. Like that was a great little 2 seasons. Yeah, you don't watch TV. I started watching Manifest on Netflix too. Like a plane disappears for 5 years and it comes back in time.
Oh, how is that?
I like it. I got into it. I stood up. I'm kind of tired from this morning with the Anthony Lynn interview because I was up to 2 a.m. binging Manifest. So I get into TV shows.
Is that on Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. Check it out. It's a little trippy. But you're into the franchises, Fernando, and I kind of want to call you out, but I don't want to put you on the spot. But I know we're getting off track, but you're also a franchise guy when it comes to food, restaurant. I was a little disappointed last time I asked you about where should I go eat in San Diego, and you told me Buca de Beppo, Spaghetti Factory. I'm like, bro, these are well-known franchises. I want to go somewhere like you never heard of. And I was like,
I wasn't gonna send you in downtown. That's all there is. There's not really all
Come
that
on.
good.
You couldn't find me something unique, and I was like, you know what, Fernando, whatever, I'll consider it. But I didn't go.
No, I know, but I go to places down there that is like unique and stuff. But I'm not really in downtown. Like I don't go to the Gas Lamp. I think that's all. I don't know. I don't need to see people throw up at 1 or 2 in the morning. Then there's no food open at that time. So yeah, no. You know what? That's why I like, and I understand why Anthony Lynn is in Mexico. Man, you can find places to eat down there at 3, 4, 5 in the morning. Here you can't find anything. Everybody closes at like 10 o'clock. Except for like McDonald's and all these other places, but don't even get me started on that.
All right.
I'm more of a mom and pop. I'm more of a mom and pop places.
I was like confused. Like, what is? I was expecting something big. This guy knows how to smoke use a grill, something.
And that's another thing. I'd rather cook than go out and do all that stuff. But the reason is because you're in downtown. I really don't know downtown all that much. I could have told you Village Pizzeria in Coronado, which is actually a very good pizza shop. Yeah. So I mean, I could have given you that, but I didn't know. I feel like you're a lazy person. Like you don't want to go far from where you are.
No, but that's why I got the hotel. I was at next to Petco and Gas Lamps. I could just walk around and get it over with. So I walked around and
Bubs. I told you Bubs at the ballpark. That's not a franchise.
Yeah, but I felt like after the game, I went after the Padres game. Everybody's going there, so I was trying to stay away from
that place.
Yeah, it's fun.
Good memories.
I've been there, but yeah, I was like, you know what? He's really telling me Buca, and I didn't even call you out. I just was like, what is he? Fuck. So again, I'm like, what's wrong with the words, man?
It's not even me.
So are you freaking?
Mom, are you hearing that? It's not even your boy that you say she calls me the F bomber. It's not even.
Yeah,
me.
I know. I don't know what it is, Fernando. You were doing it a couple of shows, and I called you out.
Oh, I said it once, and it was because of what Canelo had said.
Okay. Well, Chad Johnson also said it a couple of times on her show.
Yeah, well, there you go. Can I get with my list now?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. But yes, you're a franchise guy. Keep going.
I'm a franchise guy for movies. I if you ever would come down here and hang out with me personally, I would take you to good mom and pop shops. But no, you come down here, you ignore me. You ignore Dan and Dago. You don't even come and hang out with us. Like I mean, I see how it is, but I mean, I guess, but.
Okay. Yes, I know. I've seen what you do on the smoker. You've taken him to TJ for food. You took him to Mexico City for some food.
And I told you, bro, come down here. I'll smoke something for you. You still haven't tried the smoker.
Yeah, no, I got to do it. And
now I'm gonna dip it in grape soda, like Anthony said.
You got tips now from Anthony Lynn, so I got to go.
I'm
check
excited.
It out. But Fernando, before we move on to your little game, which I did not prepare for,
little game.
Before, let's see, how about in September or in August, can I have a show where I just talk about TV shows that I like? How about give me some shine? Because you talk about movies all the time,
bro.
Your movies are kind of bad, but
no, that's horse crap. No, but I watch shows too. The Office, that's my favorite show. I love The Office. You know,
well known, like everybody knows The Office. Again, you're a franchise guy,
bro. What about Did you watch Scarlet Witch and Vision? WandaVision? No.
I just told you I don't like Marvel.
Bro. Loki, I have to start watching Loki now. Everybody's telling me it's very good. I haven't
seen that at all. Nope. I don't even care to.
Captain America and the Winter Soldier, or supposedly Captain America, or
Actually,
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I tried one episode of that one because somebody told me that I would like it. Somebody who knows me well, like, okay, Gilbert would probably like this. I watched one episode. It's okay.
It was boring.
I never went back. Yeah,
I watched the first episode. Well, my sister and I did, and then I was like, and then like I kind of fell off because my brother had just gotten back from basic training, and we're like, oh, we're gonna watch it together, and we completely all forgot to watch it together. So now I have to watch that, and I have to watch Loki because everybody keeps on telling me about Loki. But all right, let me get into my list now.
Yeah, what we're doing again?
All right, comparing. So I'm gonna compare Chargers players to Avengers.
Okay.
So up first, the leader, Captain America. The guy who represents us, the guy who cinched up the in Endgame, he cinches up the shield and says, "I can do this all day," and then even says, "Avengers assemble." Okay. I have quarterback Justin Herbert.
Yeah, I knew it. Yeah, it's easy.
It has to be Herbert. He's going to be the leader of this team this year. He's going to be the guy. He's the guy that everybody's going to look to make big plays. That has to be Justin Herbert. Iron Man. Iron Man is the guy that he really like. He has the flash, but he's also brilliant. Like he loves fancy things. He loves spending his money. He likes nice cars. But he also puts in the game, and he really is one of the crucial players on the Avengers. What do you think I got?
Keenan Allen.
Ooh, no? 2 for 2. Keenan Allen. Okay, I got Keenan Allen. You know what? Like, there you go. We'll play like that. You're gonna guess.
I thought I was part of this game.
Yeah, too, no. You are. Okay. Now the Hulk, the muscle, the guy that just pounds and smashes everybody.
Kind of easy now you think about it. Joey Bosa.
Nope. Rashawn Slater.
Really?
Yeah. Rashawn Slater's the new kid on the block. He's big. He's aggressive. I think he's going to smash through this one. And Melissa told me, my sister again, Melissa told me she knows who Joey Bosa is. So it's not the Hulk. The Hulk is going to be Rashawn Slater.
I don't know.
He's the left tackle.
You've seen what kind of animal Joey Bosa is, and we've seen the mic'd up. I think he sounds like the Hulk out there.
No, but hold on. So now we go on to Thor. Thor is the king of lightning. He's the guy that he's funny, but at the same time, he also lets his muscles do the talking. Who do you think that is?
Well, now I'm gonna say Joey Bosa.
It's Joey Bosa.
Now I gotta give you a different one because I guess wrong. Who could be Thor? Dang.
You know what's funny? Melissa was the one that told me. She's like, Joey Bosa has to be Thor, and I'm like, why? Well, he's also good looking. I'm like, oh my god. So she gave her input on this one.
Dang. Okay. Now, you know what? I'll go Kenneth Murray.
Oh, that's not a bad one.
Yeah, he's physical, maybe not as big, but he's a hammer out there when it comes.
Yeah,
so
I like that one. Murray. All right, well, I went Joey Bosa. Now Hawkeye. Hawkeye is precise. He hits his mark, and for a couple of movies he wasn't there, but when he returned, he made a big splash. Okay. So
I think I know this one.
Who do you got?
Austin Eckler.
No, I put Derwin James as Hawkeye.
That's a good one. Okay.
Yeah, so I have he's precise. He never misses tackles. He's always on it. So I thought that has to be Hawkeye. Right. I threw in a special one, Gilbert, because I felt like this person deserved a little bit of recognition. Well, not the character, the player. I put in Quicksilver. Quicksilver is fast. He's very shifty. He knows how to get around guys.
He's an Avenger.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was for a movie, and then he died in Age of Ultron. So he sacrificed himself saving Hawkeye, actually, and a kid.
I don't remember.
Okay, yeah, I know you don't. But for that, who do you think I put?
Quicksilver. He's a silver guy, like he's on a surfboard.
No, that's a Silver Surfer.
Oh,
come on! That's a Fantastic Four too. This is Quicksilver from he's Wanda's brother.
Oh, okay.
So he's shifty, he's fast. Bro, you just said his name.
Can it be Austin Eckler?
Yes, sir. Okay, Austin Eckler is Quicksilver. I think he deserved to be an Avenger. I think this is the core of the Chargers team. Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Rashawn Slater.
I thought Spider-Man was an Avenger. You can't mention a Spider-Man?
All right, I'll throw it in there. Spider-Man. He's young. He's kind of free. He's out there. He tries to he's a funny kid because this new Spider-Man is very funny, but he has a good heart.
Good heart. You would have been a good Spider-Man as Hunter Henry, but he left. Good heart.
That's true.
But why can't it be Tobey Maguire? Older Spider-Man.
Bro.
I don't even know this kid's
You just haven't seen the new ones. That's why you're saying that.
I don't know. What, Drew Tranquil? I don't know. Somebody young.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Okay, there you go.
I like that one. You know, it's funny, and I have one more Avenger character. He's the leader of he oversees everything. Nicholas Fury, Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh,
who do you think that is?
Corey Linsley?
No, bro. Brandon Staley.
Oh, the coach. Okay.
He oversees everything. He's the one leading everybody, telling them where to go. Bro, those are my Avengers right there. Those are the guys that are going to defend and
you know what?
And be the team that kicks butt.
I thought this game was going to be stupid, but it was actually pretty fun. Kudos to you.
Bro, that's all I do. I'm all about fun. I'm all about doing all that stuff. I'm telling you, if you came down more often, if you had fun, you would have a lot more fun. Dan and Dago, me, the smoker, I'm telling you, we should hang out more.
Get rid of Dan and Dago, and I'm gonna go more often.
Gilbert, what's up? I feel like you kind of dropped off in energy a little bit.
Because you brought his name. I was like, oh, you know what? We could have ended the show right there after the game. I don't know. All right.
Hey, I might bring him. We may bring Dan and Dago one. We got to bring him on one day to talk.
He somehow leaves every time I come on, so I don't know what's up with that. So bring him on one day.
All right, we will. But for now, time being, I hope everybody had a great 4th of July weekend. I know we had a lot of fun in our own individual. Gilbert didn't want to come down and hang out, but it's fine. He had 2 parties up there. It's funny. I told him, he's like, oh, I have a party with my family and then a party with his significant other. And then I told him, bro, just do the middle. Just come down here, the neutral one. And then he just starts laughing. He's like, then I have to go all the way down there. Pero bien que vino hace unos fines de semana, whatever. But I don't hold a grudge. But
hey, get it on the carnival with the michelada maker and a torta maker.
That's what it takes to get you down here?
Yeah, there you go.
This guy. No, nomás le gusta la buena vida.
There you go.
All right. Well, for the time being, everybody have a great week. Gilbert, vámonos.
Ya nos vamos, pues, vámonos.